finally did it. Shot the very first episode of Behind the Grind, not to be confused with Behind the Grind monologue. On this episode of Behind the Grind, I sat with my old buddy Taha Gurwara, who is a musician, an artist, a singer, and I basically got to know about what motivates him, where his inspiration comes from, how he got into music, and just basically understood what keeps him going, what his grind is all about. And that's what this podcast is about, where I sit with people who I think I can learn from, people who I look up to, and people who are just doing good stuff and doing great work. Hope you like that intro tune. That was Badle Ke Sitare by
Taha Gurwara.
Asad Hashamali.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Making music. Same old. You tell me.
I'm just
podcast, man.
Podcast, yeah, dude. I thought that if doing it for Cedar for so long with Listen Up, I was like, man, I should make my own now. You know.
I'm glad you did, man.
And let's see how it goes. The rants are going well. But
I've been following them.
Yeah, but it's fun at the end of the day, man. I think we all gotta create art to some extent.
100%. 100%.
You too, man. Sir, artist, dude. Artist,
You're
man.
Make me blush on camera, huh?
Man. From going from econ all the way to making music, man. That's brilliant, man. So for everyone watching and listening, my name is Asad Hashamali, and you are watching the very first episode of Behind the Grind, the podcast where I meet people, and these are people who I actually admire for their hustle, for their grind, for their art that they make, and also just trying to understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they're doing it specifically, and also a lot of the behind the scenes which no one really sees, no one really actually gets into in the first place. And that's why I call my buddy Taha. Taha Ji is a musician, a producer, an artist, a singer. He is also just someone who I've seen since we were, in 6th grade, man?
Yeah.
6th grade, I came to Bayview. Yeah, we were back in the day. We were growing up together. And
chubby kids.
Chubby kids, yeah, man.
Chubby
kids, yeah, we were
chubby.
very chubby. Both of us were very chubby. Both of us still have the little cheeks going on. Gotta keep the game on.
Yeah, man.
But, Taha, introduce yourself, man.
You introduced me, man. You introduced me pretty well. I don't know what else to say.
But let's get into it. What are you doing exactly, man? What is your story? How about you share your story a little bit? Where'd you go from post? You were in Bayview. You did your O levels. Yeah. Then you did your A levels from there. You were in Malaysia for a little while.
I didn't do A levels.
You didn't do A levels?
No. It's a very complicated story.
Let's get into it, man.
Should I go into the details?
Please do.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So basically, right after O levels, I went to Malaysia to do foundation.
All right.
Yeah, because somehow I managed to get good grades.
Yeah.
Somehow, even my parents were shocked. I mean, it doesn't count now. Yeah. But yeah, so I went to Malaysia, I did my foundation, aced it there as well, had a scholarship there. Then I got into City University of London, and that's where it went down, man. So I had some financial issues. I couldn't go the same year that I wanted to go. So I ended up starting A levels. I did first year of my A levels, and my grades weren't that great, to be honest.
Okay.
Because it affects you when you don't get what you want.
Yeah,
obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
So I did a year of A levels, but then my financial situation got better, so I went off to the UK, enjoyed 2 years there.
Yeah.
After finishing my second year, shit went down again. Businessman. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. That word is okay. that word is fine. No other cuss words.
Yeah, so I did 2 years there.
Yeah.
I was doing BSc economics.
Okay.
And financial stuff just hit me, and I had to come back here. And when I got back here, I found out that foundation isn't accepted at universities here, like IBA, LUM, stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
ATC का बड़ा issue होता है
they don't accept foundation. तो थोड़ा off scene हो गया था. But I started UOL after that, but I had to start from the start again. And after doing 2 years of econ, when you go back to the start and everything seems so easy, you're just like, what am I doing?
Right.
Like, am I supposed to be doing this?
Yeah.
That is when I decided, leave this.
Yeah.
It's time to, do something that makes me happy. Something I can, give out my own emotions with, tell people about my emotions. Maybe, they can relate to me as well. So I started music, man. I was like, leave that behind. Start making my own songs. Start telling people my stories.
Right.
Let it be about heartbreak. Let it be about studies, whatever. Depression, whatever. Yeah, so...
Anything that would float your boat.
Sorry?
Anything that floats your boat. Anything that's like...
Yeah, anything basically that, makes you want to be alive and want to keep, at it. Keep struggling.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Keep doing the grind.
All right, man. Sweet, dude.
Yeah,
Awesome. But I remember when you came back from Malaysia, you mentioned that there was a bit of a financial problem as well.
Yeah,
I think that's when I saw you in a different light as well.
probably.
Because you and I were pretty tight in 7th grade, and then as we
O
grew
levels,
older,
yeah.
and then everyone gets into their little cliques and niches and
Yeah.
stuff. But then I
Not
remember,
even clicks. I just feel like everyone gets busy with their own lives.
yeah,
You know, there's
that
like, to be honest, I don't know what's going on with some other person's life. You know, they could be going through a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
as well. So
mm.
you know, like everyone has their own thing. Everyone goes into their own zones then.
Bilkul.
But yeah, we were pretty tight, man.
We were, yeah, we do. I still remember Omkara, but let's not get into that.
Oh yeah, let's not get into that.
But
dude.
so, man, actually, so post O levels, you basically you traveled the world to an extent. You were in Malaysia, you were in the Far East, and you went to London, and you came back to Karachi.
Mhm.
And since you left the UOL program, you haven't basically gone into formal education, right? You've been just
No.
exploring yourself. You've been
Yeah.
figuring out what your groove is like,
Yeah.
what you want to be pursuing, right?
Mhm,
Awesome.
mhm.
So when you were growing up, how was school for you?
I mean, it was good because like I surrounded myself with the right people first of all.
Right.
Like, to be honest, everyone at Bayview, our batch,
Yeah.
everyone was amazing, right? Most
Yeah.
of the people were amazing. Yeah, okay, there were a few.
There are a few misfits, but then
yeah,
I think that's with every. With
Yeah,
every
there were a
school,
few people who you want to stay away from. Not gonna
Yeah.
name them, but
Ah.
you know who you are.
You know. Yeah.
But yeah, no. To be honest, people who were weird back then. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
use the word weird, but like the people who you wanted to stay away from
Hmm.
have actually changed now. To be honest, like
Yeah.
I've met a few of them,
Yeah.
and they have changed the way they act, the way they talk. So
Hmm.
it's good. I guess.
I think people do get their shit together, man.
Yeah, I mean, people do realize they mature up, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure they went through something, and then they
Hmm.
probably realized, you know, like, okay,
Hmm.
we've been a bunch of you know,
Ha, yeah.
So let's
Let's
you
actually
know,
get to
you know,
the
fix
real
ourselves.
world now. Yeah.
But I loved my time there because everyone was so nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like just honest, and like it was good. Like I miss those days, man.
Simple times, man.
Yeah, simple times. You know, you don't have much to think about.
Hmm.
Go out, play footy, go play cricket, basketball, man. Life is enjoy.
Life is enjoy. Yeah. I've been on that so long.
Damn, yeah, that's a good one. Man.
This is such a nostalgic moment right now, man.
100%, man. 100%.
So, I'm gonna share a little story.
okay.
Back, I remember when we were in like 8th grade or something. We
Mhm.
had that bonfire. It was 8th grade or 9th grade or something, and you were like just busting some moves, man. You were crazy, and like I'm not saying that you were that guy who was the Mehndi dancer, but what I'm saying is like I see you now, and I remember that Taha as well, who was just like, when it came to expressing himself, he was free. How'd you discover that music was your calling?
So,
Like
Okay.
some form of expression, right? Basically,
some-
music
okay,
is your form of
music is my
expression.
calling. Yeah.
How did you realize that was your calling?
So basically, when I was in the UK, so I had a few flatmates who were musicians. They were doing an audio engineering degree at a university, SAE Institute, and so one of my flatmates was a guitarist, and like we would just sit down, do covers, just for fun, like
Yeah.
it was nothing serious. Like obviously at the end of the day, we were still focusing on our stuff. So he took me to the studio one day, and just that feeling when I got into that room, and like I saw these amazing microphones, I saw amazing equipment there, like a proper studio mixer desk, and I'm just like, I'm alone in this room, but I can express myself freely.
Yeah.
And like just that feeling of being in that room, right? It was just like, for me, it was just like, I think this is it, like I want to like succeed in this.
Yeah.
I want to be in big studios recording with big producers and stuff. Slowly that started, like I started becoming serious about it. I started working on how I used to sing, how I was, like saying the words out, or basically the melodies and stuff. But then I actually went to an Imagine Dragons concert. And when I was there and I saw, like how the crowd sings their songs, and like there's so much energy, I was like, I want to be on top of that stage, like I want people singing my songs. And to be honest, it was just like when I think I just told you about my story about the financial issues. So when I got back, to be honest, it was a very, very like dark place. When I got back, everything was very depressing. I didn't want to do anything. Like my parents would be like, study, do something. Like you can't just sit around And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to study econ anymore. I'm done with that. And they're like, go for something else. I'm just like, I can't get myself to study anymore. Like, you know, I just can't open a book and sit there and study anymore. I just want to do something to express myself, the feelings that I'm feeling. So I invested in this MIDI keyboard, small MIDI keyboard, and I had a software on my laptop. To be honest, I used to use this software way back in O levels. I don't know if you remember. I used to make house tracks. Very, very bad house tracks.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this, man.
I used to make terrible sounding tracks, but I guess it could stem from there. But I actually took it up as a professional thing once I was back from the UK, and I was like, okay, listen, I'm not doing anything else. I should do something.
Right.
I should make myself feel better. I should love myself more.
Right.
And I was just like, let's just express myself. Let's tell people how I feel. And that's where it all started. I mean, heartbreak was involved as well, but
ये तो मतलब
ये तो जरूरी है ना आप सिंगर
हाँ,
बनते ही नहीं हो भाई अगर हार्ट ब्रेक ना हो तो सिंगर बनो
अगर आपने रॉक स्टार नहीं देखी तो आप इस बात से रिलेट ही नहीं कर सकते ना क्या मतलब समझ कि यार दर्द चाहिए दर्द की बात है
yeah no a few of my friends used to sit there and they'd be like यार तुम अभी रॉक स्टार नहीं बन सकते मैं बोला क्यों नहीं बन सकता भाई and they're like तुम्हारी जिंदगी में दर्द नहीं आया अभी
They said that?
Yeah.
Like legit, sir?
Yeah, they're like तुम्हारी जिंदगी में जब दर्द आएगा तुम्हारा जब ब्रेकअप होगा ना तब तुम अच्छा सिंगर बनोगे तब तुम अच्छे सिंगर बनोगे I'm just like यार ऐसे तो ना बोलो यार
अल्लाह ना करे
यार but खैर हो गया और उसके बाद
शुक्र sorry
sensitive topic
I'm so sorry man but like it's I do understand that that is like that's what's going to actually get you to make the art that you want to make. Like you need that push.
No, I'm glad, I guess. I'm glad. I shouldn't have said I guess because now I'm in two minds now. But no, I'm glad. It's good. I'm focusing on myself more now.
Okay.
So yeah, 100%.
All right, man. And like you know, one of your three of your tracks actually. I'm not gonna lie. 3 of your tracks are by far like you know my the songs that I listen to avidly. One of them is Badlenge Sitare.
Oh, okay.
Right. That I think man really well and simply written. Right.
It's very simple.
It's very simple. And then the other one is Pyar Aata Jata.
Oh, okay.
Love the beat.
Most
and then
people
the
like
other
that.
one is with Turhan. What was the name?
Feel Alive.
Feel Alive.
Feel Alive.
See, and those were for me. I think if you hadn't have gone through that journey, you did come out with very like you know heart wrenching songs as well. You came out with songs that were actually like about pain and about feeling yourself, but then you came into another transition as well. And now I see that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, how about you tell me what is the story of Badlenge Sitare?
So basically, yeah, I mean, it was about, you know, like I was at such a low point in my life where I was like, you know, like even my music's not going anywhere. So I had released 2 albums by then when I made Badlenge Sitare.
Right.
I had released 2 albums. I mean, I was going places. I mean, I could see that, you know, okay, I'm making progress.
It's picking up. But then, you know, I couldn't make anything. I couldn't make a new song. And I was just like, no, man, my life's just going to be like this forever. Like Right.
there's no change coming. But somebody told me, listen, you need to be more positive or your life's not going to go anywhere. You're going to stay stuck in this negative mindset and like, you're just not going to go forward with it. So someone just came to me and they're just like, yeah, chill maro, sitare badlenge, chill maro, ho jayega sab sahi. And I was just like, yeah, ये line अच्छी है, you know, बदलेंगे तेरे सितारे. So I changed it up obviously a bit, but it was simply that I believe there will be change in my life and
like luck will prevail.
Luck, yeah. If not, it's not just about luck is a big important factor, but you need to work hard. You need to give it your all, वरना कुछ नहीं होगा. You're just gonna be stuck in the same place. So for me, it was just like, man, just stay tight, stay put, just keep working, and yeah, your stars will change, man. Like badlenge tere sitare, man. So
because I honestly speaking, I wake up and when I come into work, if the office is empty, I'm putting on that jam and I'm like, dude, yeah, this is, you know, sometimes I don't know, man. I'm really like, I'm blown away by what you've done over the past couple of years. Like,
I'm blushing.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've never felt like I would find someone who I grew up with, you know, on a level that is something that's actually like, I can look up to them in what they're saying, you know. And
Thank you, man.
if you're watching this episode, Taha was kind enough to give us the intro, the music, the track "Badling Satare," and that's that first line, man. Like, you know, I sometimes even when I'm at the gym, just to pump myself up, I'm putting that song on as well.
No, it was for the people, man. Because like
Yeah.
I know I'm not the only person who's stuck in this situation. I feel like everyone
Yeah.
who's at our age at the moment is struggling. Like they don't know where to go.
Yes, and you'd be, man. You know, well, when I was at Cedar now teaching as well, so many kids, man, like just look up to people and say, people have come up and said that, you know, like you're one of the few young individuals who has made it at this age, and I'm like, well, no one's really made it. But do you ever think that you want to be creating for the people, like you are right now? Let me rephrase that. Do you ever make content with the intention to inspire individuals, or have you just seen that as a byproduct?
No, 100%. Like there's another song I've recently worked on with a friend of mine, Sean Heather, and the song is legit just like a uplifting song. It's like Badling Satare, except it's English this time, and like
changing his styles.
yeah, literally, it's not just for me and for Sean. We've seen people around us are struggling. You know, like they don't know what to do. Like they're literally lost and very depressed. I feel like a lot of people are depressed at our age now, but they don't show it, obviously.
Unfortunately, it's a very common thing.
It's
also.
a very common thing.
Yeah.
It's a very common thing. But so the songs to inspire people.
Right.
It's not for me. It's not for Sean. It's for people to be inspired and feel like, you know, okay, man, everything's gonna be all right. Don't worry.
Right.
So I'm trying to spread a lot of positive vibes to people. Like because I know I'm a very negative person sometimes.
Okay.
My
Really?
songs are very negative sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you'll see that in my next song.
Oh, okay.
If not my next song, then the second next song.
The second next.
But yeah, you know what I mean. So
Mate, can I ask you a favor?
yeah.
Do you see if that's recording? Do you see those the recording sign with the red?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, for a second I was gonna be like,
Yo, imagine, dude, imagine.
you have no idea how many times that's happened also.
Oh, yeah, I think I know.
हाँ,
जब तुमने podcast एक निकाला था जिसमें you were like, oh shit, audio है खाली. तुमने audio वाला जो खाली निकाला था उसमें कुछ मसला हुआ था तुम्हारी
उसमें
video के
यार
साथ.
ऑडियो रिफ्ट ही हो गई थी उसमें
Oh,
ड्रिफ्ट हो गई थी सॉरी
Oh shit.
सो
Yeah.
yeah man उसमें तो I started off with that देवदास के dialogue and I think Taha would actually know this is that Taha, without having me to say it, knows that I'm a very Bollywood type of a person. We jammed out to Omkara soundtracks, alright? So I think we know how
Yeah,
it is.
dude. Bollywood's the shit, man.
Yeah, it is. Everyone wants a Nandini and a Priya in his life, man.
Yo, who has not watched Kal Ho Na Ho?
If you haven't, then you should, man.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's my favorite movie.
Jiyo, khush raho, muskurao. Kaun jaane?
Yo, I use that line so much, you have no clue. You
Yeah?
have no clue. I use that line on everyone. Like, I'm just like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, so that's just a nice, simple line, you know. It just,
Yeah.
That movie moves me, actually.
I do need to watch that movie like once a year. I have that. I do need to
Same.
watch that. And like Mehuna every couple of years. But
Couple of years? No, man.
Like
That's something you watch every year as well. That shit makes you laugh, man.
Mehuna?
Yeah, man. Mehuna, come on, man. That shit makes you laugh.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, it's good,
when
but
he's
it makes
when
laugh.
he's in Darjeeling, yeah. When he's when he's
yeah.
acting as a student, yeah.
Yeah.
Haha, that is pretty funny. So, yeah, Taha, did you think that this was the trajectory of your life? Did you think that this is what you would be doing?
Obviously not, man. Like, when I did my O levels and I got such good grades in econ, right? Like, to be honest, I really liked econ. Like, that was something that really interested me.
Really?
And yeah, and to be honest, I thought I was gonna be like teaching econ or some shit like in the future. If not teaching it, then like I'd probably do a master's degree in econ as well. That was my plan, to be honest, in the start, that I'll finish my bachelor's and then I'll go for master's again and do that. So this is very unexpected. Like, I did not expect, like, I could not ever.
None of this.
Yeah, no, this is a very different trajectory that I actually imagined in my head. So, but it's a fun journey, man.
So how do you manage to continue to inspire yourself? Do you have like these set of heroes that you found online, or like, you know, in your own life that you just go to for guidance, or?
So usually, if you ever meet me at a gathering or something, I'd be pretty quiet. I'd be like observing people. I'll be observing others and their behaviors and how they act, and when something is said to them.
Yeah.
You know, like I can, for some reason, I can actually tell how a person might be feeling after something's been said to them. So for me, I keep inspiring myself. I listen to other people's stories. Like I talk to a lot of people, like, and you know, they tell me their negative thoughts. A lot of people do, and someone's actually sent a lot of stuff to me right now, and I have to reply to them. But I hear their stories, and for me, it's like I sometimes use their stories, and I come up with lyrics on their stories, and then I make a song out of that. So I use people around me to inspire me. I use what's happening around me to inspire me. And to be honest, a lot of stuff happens every other day. So it's not hard to find inspiration, to be honest. Like there's so much to talk about.
But see, that's
much to talk about. Oh
that's creative inspiration, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like on an emotional level for yourself.
For myself.
Like you could even say that, you know, you really look up to like someone like Ed Sheeran's story or like, you know, or like the journey that John Mayer had to go on to, like things like that also, you know, like you have those.
Yeah, I have this book. I forgot the name of it, but like every page is a different story about someone who's famous now or has made it big.
Yeah.
And like I've read all their stories, and it just makes you realize that there is going to be a rough patch in your life, but you're going to come out way stronger after that rough patch. So right now it's a really rough patch for me because for the past 2 months it was pretty hard to make music for me. But like legit, just got to keep believing in yourself. Just got to stay positive that, you know, this is going to happen. Yeah, I will become a star. And that, I guess, the inspiration for me is that I want to see people singing my songs. I want to see myself up on that stage with those lights, and you know, like if I have my music playing at the back, and even if I'm not singing, people are singing in front of me and keeping the song going. So, you know, like I dream a lot, man. I dream a lot. That's
great, man.
Yeah.
And you know, actually, so that's actually one of the reasons why I thought of calling you on was just you know, like I've so many moments with the whole new company and with so many clients to be dealing with, and then also with tuitions. It's like, man, who's there to give you a pat on the back? You know, I thought that even yourself, man. And I sat with Sir Bilal a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, dude, you tell me to be the people person. You tell me like to be the source of like inspiration and wisdom and guidance for people, and make sure that everyone's needs are sorted out. And I was like, dude, mere liye kaun hai yaar? And he's like, that's the problem with being a young entrepreneur.
100%.
You got no one there for you.
You're doing great, to be honest. Like, you're an inspiration as well for me.
So thank you so much, man. And see, with this podcast, that's also one of the things I want to be doing. It's not just about learning about your story, but it's also about letting you know, like, dude, you are doing fantastic, man.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes, man. And it's true, though. You know, like, I'm not saying that we all stick to our phones and, like, you know, I'm not going to go on to the Instagram rant, ke yaar, instant gratification chahiye aapko. But you need some form of appreciation, man.
100%.
And I seriously hope is like after this, once you see this episode even later on in the future, it's like this becomes like your source of inspiration, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Like right now I'm feeling nice. I'm like,
it's a very different feeling right now, man.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Can I just come here to like tell you my feelings sometimes?
Please do, man. We'll mic you up. Feelings with Taha Gurwara.
Oh damn. You might have just given me an idea.
I love it. I love it. No, so coming back to the questions, have you ever had to come across that the thought? So you're doing something very unconventional. You're not in school right now.
No.
And you mentioned outside, it was like, if you do plan on going to school, you plan on going to like audio engineering or something, right?
Yeah.
Yaar, ye Hassan Minaj ka wo dekha tha, Homecoming King?
Yeah, nahi. To be honest, I am not watching many shows these days.
Okay.
I've been spending time in my room, which I've made into a studio, and like
high five to that, man, dude. I don't watch any shows either, dude.
Yeah, no, I honestly have. The last thing I saw was Stranger Things because I've been following that.
Okay.
Before that,
I haven't seen a single episode.
Yeah. Oh no.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I haven't seen Stranger Things.
चलो Game of Thrones अब छोड़ दो, अब तो मैं बोलूँगा ना ही देखो.
मैंने Breaking Bad भी नहीं देखा था यार. मतलब मैं वैसा बंदा हूँ भाई, आप नहीं हरा सकते मुझे इससे.
Yo, there's a door. I'm leaving. Okay, this is over. No, yeah, Breaking Bad is good. It's good. that might just give you some inspiration.
Yeah.
To become-
But like
become a drug dealer.
Hassan Minhaj was saying this was a stand-up comedy special from Netflix, and he said that when he shared his entire story, and it was a simple line in between. He's like, log kya kahenge? How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, to be honest, even if you, for example, come up with a cure to cancer, right?
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh nahi, isme kuch isne mind control drug डाली हुई है कुछ,
हाँ.
ठीक है ना? तो even if you do something great,
Yeah,
someone will throw negative stuff at you.
Yeah.
I was going to say shit. No, I can say that. Yes. Someone will throw negative comments towards you, right? No matter what you do. If it's something good, if it's something bad, people will say stuff no matter what you do.
Right.
So for me, it's like, block them out.
Hmm.
Just block them out. Like, doesn't matter, man. Like, obviously sometimes they will get to you, but nahi. Like, for this, I don't know if you see this nose ring. Yeah.
I even saw you dyed your hair in between also.
Bad phase. I want to do it again.
He says while laughing.
I'm losing my hair, man, so I can't do that anymore.
Are you really losing your hair?
Yeah, man, I'm getting PRP done.
Damn. Feelings with Taha.
Episode 2. But nahi yaar, honestly, people will say stuff no matter what. Have you heard my song ZNMC?
Yeah.
Let's not say.
We can't say that.
Yeah, we can't say what it means.
It
but
says Zindagi
Zindagi ne
chhod diya.
Chhod diya. Khair, so when I released that, YouTube, all I was expecting that like YouTube is someone who's just like, I'm gonna sue you, blah blah. You
For the language?
Yeah, and I was like, first of all, it says explicit content. Don't open it if you don't want to see it. But okay, this is off topic.
Yeah, you very explicitly mentioned that it's explicit content. Yeah, like I was impressed.
No, I have to, man. Like,
good.
YouTube.
Flag ho jaoge phir.
Yeah, people under 18 can't even view that.
Huh?
Yeah, they can't, because I have to do that. I have to write explicit content.
Okay.
Even when I upload it on Spotify and iTunes, I have to write it.
Okay.
Even if it's in Urdu and not English.
हाँ ये Eminem के साथ बड़ा होता था 50 Cent के गाने और सब explicit and clean दोनों निकलते थे.
Yo, I did that on my first album. So next to the album art, I put explicit content, parental advisory, and it looks so cheap. It looks so cheap. I regretted it so much.
That's the gangster laugh, man.
One and only.
Yeah.
But no, just honestly ignore people.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. Ignore people. You want to wear skinny jeans, or if you want to wear short shorts,
yeah,
whatever, जो भी है तुम्हें अपनी shirt उतार के घूमना है, घूमो. Don't care, man. Just don't care what people have to say about you.
Easier said than done. No?
Easier said than done, 100%. But legit, make yourself believe it.
Yeah.
You make yourself believe it. That's all you need. Like, love yourself. Just love yourself, man. Don't listen to anyone. If someone's giving you positive comments, okay, good, nice. But if someone says something negative, if it's criticism, it's fine. If someone's trying to help you improve, it's fine. But if it's something, that's going to be, what's it called, demotivating you, ignore it. Ignore it. You don't need that negativity in your life, honestly. So
how have you dealt with that with your parents? Were your parents always supportive?
No. Not in the start. Obviously, in the start, they'd be like, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता, तुम क्या करोगे, you need to study, वरना तुम्हें job नहीं मिलेगी. And I'm just like, listen. A lot of my friends listen. So a lot of my friends have graduated and they can't find jobs. Yeah. So like, the world is changing. Yeah. The world that you guys grew up in, you cannot, like, for example, I'm losing words.
Socho bhai.
So basically, the thing is, for them, it's like the world they were living in it no longer exists, right? So they can't really teach us how to, I don't know, man. Okay, but let's ignore that.
That's fine. Refine the words, man. This is really raw, by the way.
It's good. That's what I like about this. Even when you're doing it, you're probably just more educated than me. So
ऐसी बात ही नहीं है यार, क्या बात कर रहे हो, dude?
I'm playing the sympathy card there. But wait, what was the question? Shit.
How have you dealt with your parents?
Oh yeah, no. Honestly, मैं बहुत ढीठ हूँ. So I've just legit stayed ढीठ up till now, and now they just accepted it. They're like, okay. No, plus they've seen improvement in me. Okay. They've seen the recognition I'm getting with City FM 89 and stuff like that. So it's been good.
Times I knew it. No,
they know I'm working hard towards it, and for them, obviously at the end of the day, when they want to see me happy, right?
Yeah.
I understand their point of view as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just want their son like to be like क्या होता है उसका नाम?
Do well.
To do well. If not just that, they want him to be secure, right?
Right.
They want security के मतलब चलो degree से security मिल जाती है.
Mm-hmm.
फिर कर लो जो करना है. They've said this to me, like get a degree and then just like do whatever you want still.
Mm-hmm.
But I told them it's like they won't understand that I cannot study that certain subject again.
Mm-hmm.
So I've spoken to them about audio engineering and they're totally up for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just figuring out the logistics for it at this moment.
Okay, like
So they're
as in
fine.
जाना का है या क्या?
Sorry?
Like as in के
Jana bhi ka hai and other stuff, like you have to look at your financial stuff and then you have to look at, like job availability there. Because to be honest, I want to stay there then. Because music का scene मुझे यही लगता है कि बाहर ज़्यादा बेहतर है. यहाँ से.
Well, yeah, exposure.
Exposure
and
नहीं
more
मतलब-
connections, maybe.
Connections नहीं, but just how the industry is there.
Right.
It's not like what it's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
यहाँ people are just like, oh यार तो मेरे लिए ये free में कर दो,
हाँ.
मेरे लिए वो free में कर दो, ठीक है ना? Like
और फिर वही मंजन बेच देंगे
Yeah.
कर करके फिर आप आगे बढ़ोगे.
exactly. Like, and there's lies here.
Hmm.
People don't stick to their contracts. This happened to me
Yeah?
recently. Yeah, with my 4 songs that I just released, it happened with me. They didn't, live up to the expectations, and they didn't live up to their words in the contract. Basically, what they had told me they'd do. So,
Hmm.
like, the industry here is a bit messed up. So
Hmm.
for me, I would rather target outside.
Would you want to change that? Would you want to come back and change that system?
Oh, for sure. Again, like I said, I dream too much, right? So I always like when I'm sitting, I'm having a cigarette, I'm just thinking about where I'm taking this, what's my direction. So sometimes I think, okay, like I'll go, I'll have an audio engineering degree.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back here. I'll open a school, music school.
Yeah.
Teach people audio engineering.
Hmm.
Get bands to come in, record, or maybe like make a small house band from the
Right.
school. So I want to bring that education here, obviously, because
Okay.
I want people to have good access,
Hmm.
like to music education.
All
It's
right.
necessary. It's something. It's a
So-
field, man. It's a field on
Yeah,
its own.
yeah,
So why
yeah.
not?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's an institution that's properly teaching it.
क्या
They
हुआ है? That's hard.
I don't know. Hopefully, I bring
Huh.
good links from outside and link them there as well. I don't know. Let's see, man. It's too early to think about that
Hmm.
at the moment. At the moment, I need to concentrate on my music.
But I think what, man. How about have you changed that? When you say you dream a lot, is that a dream or is that an ambition?
Could be both.
Yeah.
Ambition for sure. actually.
Ambition?
Yeah,
Alright.
I actually want to do that.
Alright.
I just hope it pans out properly and I can actually do that.
Okay, man.
Yeah, so let's see, man.
Awesome. All right, man. So I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I know you got a Lion King scene sorted out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that later.
So, so in this whole conversation, we've basically sorted out what your plan is for the way ahead. But if you were to meet the old chubby little Taha Gurwara, what would you tell your old self?
Start exercising, man. No. What would I tell myself?
Are you still going to the gym, by the way?
Yeah, I was actually out for 2 months because of a hamstring injury, but I started last week again, so yes.
Hamstring injury.
No.
Actually,
Honestly, I'm not even joking, dude. No, I was actually gymming quite properly,
Huh.
like heavy gymming for like 5 or 6 months,
Hmm.
and then I got injured while playing football. Everything went downhill since then.
खनानी के साथ खेल रहे थे
नहीं खनानी तो आया ही नहीं है कब से.
कब क्या टाइम हो गया काफी
हाँ खनानी कराची आओ.
पहुंचो के you
But yeah, exactly. But no, so yeah, that was causing some problems for me. But I have been to the gym. But what I would say to myself would be, don't go for that econ degree. Go for that music degree. Start learning the guitar earlier. I started learning the guitar 3 years ago, dude.
and you learned yourself.
Yeah, music theory, everything. Like I've taught myself.
Alright.
Yeah, I've learned how to compose myself, how to make beats myself, how to mix and master my beats properly. Like they were pretty bad in my first 2 albums. My mixing was pretty bad. I admit it. There's nothing wrong in admitting your mistakes, but now I've gotten much better
Yeah.
and I've seen my progress and I'm really excited for the tracks I have coming up ahead. So I just tell myself, stay the same, but just don't go for that econ degree. Go for
Alright,
music, dude. Go for
Alright, dude.
music. And maybe one thing I'd say is the friends you made, keep them close. It's sad that I've lost quite a few friends, but that's just because of myself. Like, it's not their fault. It's because of me. But yeah.
Alright, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good talk, man. Rulega kya pagle?
But yeah, no. Yeah, good man. I got my feelings off my chest as well.
Yeah,
So it
I hope
feels
this helped, by the way. I hope you liked it.
It did, man. It did. I actually quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, thanks for setting this up, man.
Yeah. Didn't have to say that, man. But no, I was thinking, hey, man, you want to call me in every Friday? Let's do this every Friday, yeah, this session.
Yeah. Let's do it, man.
झूठ बोल रहा है.
नहीं क्यों नहीं यार अब बस मैंने पता है ये भी सोचा था अब भाई छुट्टी पे ना थोड़ा तो मैं सोचा था कि यार I need to make time for myself.
You should.
Yeah,
You should.
I really should. And like,
I remember you used to sing Rockis Tahan, I'm Yours.
yeah,
If you remember that.
I don't want to.
No.
I remember it.
No, his
I
voice was good. Your voice was good.
नहीं यार you don't say these things, man.
It's
Too
happening.
many kids know
I
me.
think you should come into my studio next time and we should record something.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not, man?
I'm waiting for an invitation, man.
Even if you don't want to sing, you can always help me out making a song.
Dude, I actually want to.
Yeah,
I actually want to. And I'd be down. Like, you teach me something, man. Teach me how to improve my voice and then let's do it, man.
पहले अपनी आवाज तो अच्छी कर लूं.
क्या बात कर रहे हो यार?
I know. I mean, it's good. It's better. Okay, shush. Let's not talk about that. Anyways, but I won't be able to teach you how to sing better because, like, I don't know how I taught myself. First of all, but I can help you with autotune.
With autotune, make me sound like T-Pain.
No, actually, I'll keep your natural voice still.
Yeah.
But it'll be better.
Right, okay.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
So you got a good voice, but let's make you sound better.
No. Every musician now uses autotune, just by the way, because we've become so. Yeah, I do. It's not autotune isn't like exactly the way it used to be. Like that T-Pain. वो नहीं रहा.
Yeah.
मतलब पहले भी वो नहीं था.
हाँ.
Autotune is basically you legit select the notes that you're singing and
Yeah.
you fix them one by one, like half करते हो. You separate them and like the
Ceiling लगा दे, floor लगा देते हैं ना उसमें.
No,
Highs
you
and
actually
lows को आप.
no. You actually like put the notes, melody आप गा रहे हो.
Yeah.
You properly make that melody on a software and you have to cut up your vocals and you have to find कहाँ तुम्हें ऊपर करना था, कहाँ नीचे करना था. So that's an art itself, dude. Like it took me some time to learn it, but I've learned. बहुत ख्वारी है. Because you legit hear each word का syllable about 10 or 20 times. Each word का syllable.
Oh.
So unless your ear is really good, mine's not
Yeah.
that great yet. So that's why it takes me time. But everyone uses autotune now because we've become so accustomed to it sounding perfect. So everyone in this industry uses it. Let it be Beyonce or if it's, I don't know about Atif Aslam, his voice is pretty good live as well, so can't say anything about that, but they have to because most of the music is now electronic and electronic is like at perfect pitch,
right?
So it's really hard to match it anyways. Like it'll sound good live, but when you need an audio recording you need to have it tuned or it's just gonna sound off.
Alright. Say it, dude.
Yeah.
Fun facts with Taha Gurwara.
Yeah.
Podcast number 2.
Oh yeah, you could definitely divide this and make it in 2 episodes, man. You never know.
Yeah. That's it, like I don't even know, like every time I make my own rants, the monologue, I shoot it, I edit it the same night, and I put it on schedule for the release the same night. Because I'm like, bas nikalna hai.
Damn, yeah.
Damn,
that's tough work.
I saw your comment also, dude, it looks like you haven't slept. I was like, yeah, because I really don't. Sometimes when I'm wired that way, I just don't sleep then.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be trying to sleep, I'd wake up and be like, oh shit, मेरे दिमाग में melody आ गई है क्या? इसको मुझे बनाना है किसी तरीके से. I'd make that melody and like next morning I'd listen to it and I'd be like, oh, this is crap, man, and I delete it. So
it's true.
It happens.
Okay, I've only seen this on like YouTube or TV, so it's legit.
No, dude, like I have around 15 songs that I've trashed this year only.
Whoa.
Like I've completely made them, I've mixed them, I've mastered them, and then I'm just like, no, this is not good. Boom.
You've saved them somewhere, yeah?
हाँ थोड़े
मैंने full delete भी मार दिया.
हाँ delete भी मारे काफी.
Damn, man.
करना पड़ता है. यार क्या करूँ? नहीं, it happens and हो सकता है कि उनमें से कोई बहुत ही अच्छा था और मुझे नहीं पता था.
Yeah.
So I need to learn how to just like release it. Don't worry about what people think.
Yeah.
लोग क्या कहेंगे?
लोग क्या कहेंगे?
This is one thing that bothers me, I guess.
Yeah. But dude, thank you for your time, Taha.
Thank
This
you
is
for
so much
inviting
fun.
me.
Yeah, and stay in touch, man.
तुम busy हो भाई, मैं तो फारिग आदमी हूँ, मैं कुछ नहीं करता.
Don't be, yeah. Everyone, I think everyone is just like trying to do their own thing, trying
Yeah,
to find their own
everyone's
grind, their own groove, man.
We don't know what's behind their grind.
Yeah, man. And I'll close it on that one. For all those watching, Taha Gurwara, Asad Hashamali. See you guys in the next one. Don't know with who, but we'll see that in the next one as well. Take care.
Peace
Bye
out.
bye. Peace.